Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of HCS Matters. I'm John Wright. We're here at the Hardin County Schools Early College and Career Center. We're hanging out with Principal Dan Robbins. We're going to talk with him and some students today about the early college pathway and the academy at EC3. And Dan, this place is, you're celebrating your 10th anniversary, right?
Yeah, 10th anniversary of the building.
Yeah,
of the building.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You much longer. But.
Me much longer than 10 years. I've been in it for a little bit. So,
right,
yeah.
right. So talk about the developments, the changes that you've seen in these 10 years.
Oh man. Well, number one is just pure student growth. I think our very first year here, I think overall for our year, of course, that's when we started trimesters and so forth. I think we served somewhere between 500 and 600 total students during that school year, and we thought, man, we're doing really well. And now, this year, that we're serving over 1,900 kids in our district, it's amazing. And we're still putting all of them here into this building. Of course, we've expanded to offering up using space at John Hardin High School, which is awesome, and even our friends over here at ECTC have loaned us some space. But yeah, we're growing, and it's great. It's great for this community and our students.
Right. You've seen, and no, I'm not going to ask you to say anything specifically, but you have seen so many students walk out of here with certificates and degrees who are now, you have doctors.
Sure, absolutely.
You have lots of nurses, you have lots of engineers, lots of IT specialists that really wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for this facility and the pathways that it offers.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, a lot of those students were high achieving kids and they were going to find a way to get to their goals. But I think that, the opportunities that Hardin County Schools presented them just opened maybe the doors up a little differently or maybe sooner. And so it's been amazing to see that. It's awesome. I think, you know this even like as a father, we watch our own kids grow up and we see them achieve things. It's no different from the kids that come through our programs here at EC3, and we watch them to become these high achieving adults that are doing all the things that we knew that they could do. It's awesome to see and then be able to have those conversations with them, and it's nice because I think they know and they attest a lot of that to their opportunity they had here at EC3. So
many community partners the automotive pathway comes immediately to mind with Swope Automotive. So many, the health science pathway where students actually go to hospitals and nursing facilities and doctor's offices and actually work with patients, draw blood, do things like that. Where would we be without those community partners? And we'd have a much tougher time.
Oh, absolutely. We tell people all the time, we've shown this place off quite a bit to other school districts and even people from other states. And they ask, what's the big secret for EC3? And we tell them that the secret, anybody has students, everybody has like an area, but it's that community support, your Swopes, your Baptist Hardin, it's those types of companies, that Altec, Matulsa, I mean, gosh, I go on and on and on. But those partnerships that they provide to us, that's what makes the difference. Because, anybody can, teach these kids and these kids will come here and learn, but when they have those opportunities that the community presents them and shows how invested they are, because then they're hiring them immediately, out of high school or while they're in high school, that's really what paints the picture for this success, really.
Right, I mean, from day one, you've had, it's like college coaches coming into the welding pathway and handing out their business cards. I would think the community, the business community, industry community really sees this as an asset. You've heard that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that they see that we are, have that type of relationship that we depend on each other. And they treat us that way. They make us feel really good about the quality of the worker, the employee that they are getting that's coming from us, because it's a big deal for us. If our students are not the employees that they are seeking, then we know we have to make some improvements. I had a great meeting just recently with Baptist Hardin about our students and those types of things, and they shed a little light on some things that we need to work on, and we're like, thank you, let us know, because we want to make sure that we're improving, because if that product of student that we're putting out there doesn't meet the standard in which they need, then we have to fix it. And we owe that to them as well. So it's a big deal.
So your staff has to really stay on top of the times. I mean, you've got, for example, health science, those those nurses, they're nurses.
Absolutely.
They have to stay on top of the times. Your welding pathway teacher has to stay on top of the times. So their continuing education is critical.
Absolutely. Yeah, we take pride in the relationships we have and what we call our advisory councils. Those are people in the community that help to keep us, in tune with trends and the changing times. Again, during these 10 years, we've seen that. And so we have to know what the community needs so that we are meeting that need. Because if not, then we're just doing what we think sounds good, and that's wrong for our kids and our community. We have to meet the need.
So Hardin County, this is no secret. I think you've heard this, but Hardin County is growing, and it's going to grow even more here in the next 3 to 5 years. How are we ready with our pathways? How are we ready as a district to grow even further, to help that growth?
Right. And one of the things I'd say, I'm not sure we're ready just yet, but we're definitely better off than we ever were.
Oh, sure.
We are continuing to see what those trends are, talking to those businesses and companies that they enter our area, and we want to make sure that we're offering the opportunities that helps to meet those needs. We have an expansion project that's at least on the books right now, and we're excited to hopefully get that off the ground maybe after Christmas and with some bids. But we are going to grow. We're going to offer some new pathways that help meet those needs of some of those individual companies that are coming to town.
Well, one pathway that I want to talk particularly about is our residential maintenance pathway. That has grown, Mr. Robbins, tremendously, and it's a pathway that includes, we're turning out plumbers, electricians, carpenters, HVAC experts. That's something that we need. I mean, I want somebody who knows what they're doing to work on my plumbing in my house, and you do too.
Absolutely.
And those are now our students who are meeting those needs.
Yeah, I mean, that is a skilled labor force. Our partnership with Lincoln Trail Home Builders Association is pivotal in that, and that was one that honestly that kind of grew up out of student want and the community want, and then so we developed it. We're a 2-teacher program right now. That is one that we're using space at HCEC, and we're growing. So now in our 4th year of that program, being able to expand into HVAC, into plumbing, into wiring, the carpentry, and hopefully our goal is even to grow that into a heavy equipment operation. Again, these are people that are building our futures, right? And so we need that labor force, and at least if they're not getting fully certified, they're at least getting that knowledge base to kind of continue in, maybe to go work on their journeyman certification. So
we're going to talk to some students here in just a second who are in the early college pathway and the academy at EC3. Just talk about, for the viewer who doesn't know what those programs are, just talk about what the academy is and what the early college pathway does.
Yeah, so the academy program is a program that did not start in year 1. It was something that kind of grew and developed over the first couple of years. And it was the opportunity that allowed our students to earn dual credit for an associate's degree, so that they would spend their junior and senior year earning college credits, working in partnership with ECTC to get those college credits. Now, it's not a program for every student, but it's a program for students that are looking to potentially get some rigor. We have expanded our dual credit programs in all of our high schools, but it's hard, with the amount of teachers that we have and those types of stipulations. So we do some stuff with ECTC where we bring professors in. So those students are sitting in classrooms with college professors, learning the college content just like any other college student. There is a tuition cost that is associated with it, but the state of Kentucky has allowed some nice opportunity for some scholarships as well. So we're just trying to give our students that rigor so that they can have the opportunity to earn an associate's degree, graduate high school with that, and then that maybe helps jumpstart them a little bit into their post-secondary plans. Maybe it cuts off a little bit of time once they go off to their 4-year college. Maybe their 4-year college is here, with the expansion of what ECTC University Center is going to offer. But it just gives kids kind of a head start in that. It's very rigorous, that's for sure. But we call it the Academy Program for juniors and seniors that do those 2 years program. Same terminology, but we call it the early college program for high school senior that's just coming in just their senior year. Academically, we're setting things that they have in place right now. Really, students need their English and math their senior year, and that's it. So we're saying, hey, if you're not maybe exploring a full pathway and you're looking to try to do something different, then maybe the early college program is for you. It's a little different in that those students aren't with us on a daily basis in here. They take English and math with us, but then they spend their day at the college during their senior year. And so they're sitting in rooms. nobody really knows. The high school, the college professor doesn't know. The other students in there, they might look at them and say, aren't you still in high school? There may not be, some people don't know. And they're in there taking those college classes just like any regular college student. So it, again, just gives opportunity for students that are looking for maybe a little more rigor that sometimes is harder to offer at the home high school because of the dual credit certification that teachers have to have.
Some people, the critics of that program say, well, that's awful young to be turning them loose or whatever. But there's a lot of that has to the maturity level, and then but you guys, it's not like you just turn them loose to the wolves. You guys do grade checks. Yeah. You still counsel those students. You work a great deal with those students.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our four-year universities in the state of Kentucky do a really good job with what we call our first-generation students, and so what we're trying to do with them is maybe trying to instill some of those same values, those study habits. People, checking in on them. You and I know this as well as parents, kids go off to school and you only know what they tell you. And so in this opportunity, we're the kind of go-between for parents. And while we're doing some of those grade checks and doing some of that check-in with kids, we can kind of help the parents along because some of our parents need to learn how to be a college parent. Yeah. And so we're trying to help them out as well so that our students have a higher success rate, because students that have a high success rate then go back. You talk to any of our presidents or our colleges and universities, they're going to tell you, when they lose students because of failure, then those students, there's no retention obviously there. So they want students to be successful. Our students have an average GPA of a 3.75 out of their first year. And so that is way above any college freshman at campus if you look around, especially in the state of Kentucky. So we're just helping that. And so getting our kids, getting those credits in their back pocket. The biggest thing is, once you earn a degree, once you earn college credits, they're yours forever. And so we hope that if they have them, they've shown that they can do it, then they're more likely to go off and then be successful on their own.
You've got just a couple of minutes left. Talk about the ECTC is such a critical partner.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Pate and his team over there have been phenomenal to work with. Sometimes I feel like they're just an extension of our staff because of how closely we work together. They are phenomenal. We couldn't do this without them. ECTC being able to provide us the experience by sending professors to us, by allowing our students to come onto their campus to take classes. We couldn't do this without that proximity in that relationship. So it's been fantastic for us to be able to have that. But I tell people this all over the state of Kentucky because people ask about how they do it. I said, you have a partner regional campus there, use them. And so I know that that's starting to happen. But they've been fantastic to us. Their dual credit team, I think, is a team of 3 currently right now, but you would think they're a team of 15 because of how hard they're working. But dual credit is here to stay. It's only going to grow. We have offered more and more dual credit even in our career tech pathways, culinary, health sciences, aviation is doing it, welding. I mean, we're offering dual credit throughout this building, so it's not just in the Academy and Early College program, it's also in our classes as early as high school freshmen.
Awesome. Yeah. Mr. Robbins and his team do a dynamic and wonderful job. We're going to talk to 3 students here in just a second who are in the Academy and who are early college seniors about their plans, and it sounds like in those early conversations that these young men and women are going to be extremely successful because of the work they've done to succeed at this level. Carissa Bonnet is a North Hardin High School senior and has been in the Academy at EC3 and the early college pathway now. And Carissa, talk about that Academy at EC3 experience last year, kind of in your junior year, and how it kind of shaped you for this year.
So my Academy junior year was a little different. It's a lot different than high school, so I kind of didn't really know what to expect coming into it all. But not only did it prepare me academically, I think just preparing me as a person as a whole, with interacting with different kids within the county and being with North, John, and Central all combined with each other. It definitely was something that shaped and molded me into the person I am today. I mean, relationships and friendships that I began to grow and to experience and to flourish here through the Academy was something that I never would have had the opportunity to do. And so as far as academically, the structure was a lot different than a high school setting, but it definitely set me up for my senior year as far as my classes and my scheduling and being able to do that very independently. And I think it just kind of took you from like this childish stage to, helping you grow up and, get ready for the real world and get ready what you're going to encounter outside of high school.
Perfect segue there, Carissa. So you were a North Hardin sophomore.
Yes.
And you had gone along with your friends and all that stuff. Did you have any separation anxiety and if you did, how quickly was that? Did those feelings of angst or whatever, anxiousness, go away once you started the academy?
So ever since my 8th grade year, I knew I was going to do the academy.
Okay.
I knew that I was going to set up all my classes the way it needed to be. That way I could, get accepted and get into the program. And literally, I got accepted, and just about a week before school started, I told my mom, I was like, nope, I do not want to go. I was like, we need to change this back, I need to message Mr. Robbins, tell him no, like I'm not doing this. I got really nervous. I got really, really nervous, going to a school without my friends, without my family. My mom teaches at North Hardin, so she was there with me. And then my local church is in Radcliffe, so a lot of our youth went there too. So, moving, having a big change like that, it definitely did scare me. It gave me a little bit of anxiety. And, my mom has always taught me, go where peace is at. And so she told me, we're believers, and she, said, just pray about it, go with whatever you have to make peace with, but I think you should go. And I was like, okay. And so, I was like, okay, like I can do this. Like I can put my feelings aside. Let's try this. And so not even a week fully in here, I knew that this was where I was supposed to be. Just so many opportunities for my life have opened up through the academy. It was definitely, I had a little bit of anxiety about it, a little nervousness, but no, I'm really, really glad that I did that.
All right, talk about the rewarding experience that you're kind of anticipating. So in 5 months, 6 months from now, 5 months, you're going to receive your associate's degree.
Yes.
And your high school diploma. Talk about how you're really, Carissa, going to have a leg up going into your next step.
Yeah, so I was originally in the nursing pathway, and I got my CNA my junior year and had a perfect job opportunity to start, and I didn't really feel at peace with pursuing the nursing and the medical field, so I then changed it to education. And so transitioning from that and, being in preparation, I was still able to get a head start on my classes, and being able to have, I'm like the younger one of the class, so I'm only 17 right now, so I'll graduate when I'm 17. And being able to get my bachelor's by the time I'm 20 years old is a really neat thing, and being able to automatically start my career in the beginning of my 20s is something that most people can't say that they have done and they have the opportunity to do. It's going to be good. It's exciting.
So are you going to take advantage? You say you're an education major now. Are you going to take advantage of the tuition assistance program?
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
So I will be. I'm doing WKU through ECTC's campus. Awesome. So I'm staying here locally. My heart is here in Hardin County with the community, and so I don't see myself leaving and going anywhere else. So
Right. Just so. For folks, I guess, who are, for parents of high schoolers that are watching this and just want to know more about the academy, and so if you were to give some words of wisdom to students who are feeling that angst that you felt, how would you prepare them? What would you say to them to say, hey, you really do need to give this a try?
The biggest thing that I can say is change is inevitable. Change is going to happen all the time. You're always going to be experiencing change. It's how you view it and how you let that change affect you as a person. So my biggest encouragement that I can encourage is teenagers and even parents, like, allow your child to do it. For teenagers, do it. Like, there is no better opportunity. And a lot of people like to say, well, I'm going to miss out on like the high school experience. And that was one thing that I was really nervous about. But being able to create a new type of high school experience with the friends, and you truly build a family and a community here. And so I wouldn't have changed it for anything else. I mean, this program changed my life in many more ways that I could have told you at the beginning of my year of what I thought it would do to me. And now I'm a senior about to graduate. So my encouragement is to do it. Like I said, change is inevitable. So why not take the change while you can and rock with it? So
you're going to be an amazing teacher for us. We are looking forward to getting you back in those classrooms. All right, Carissa Bonnet is a wonderful example of how this early college pathway and the Academy of the EC3 has become successful. We'll talk to a couple more students here in just a sec.
Bye, guys.
Yassine is a John Hardin High School student, and he's in the academy here at EC3, which means he is a high school junior / college freshman. So talk about where you are now mentally versus where you were in August mentally.
Right, yeah. So right now I'm kind of feeling the college life, and I'm getting like a lot of learning experiences in high school. So it's kind of like a jump up step, like we're like in that phase where we're like switching to the college mentality, like no more mistakes that we used to do in high school and all that. And back in August, I was still kind of like feeling like a high school student. Now I'm feeling more like a college student.
Right.
So yeah, back in August, we were like joking around, and we still do, but obviously like we're more focused on like our school and stuff, and feeling that college life.
This experience kind of matures you quickly. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So like now I'm feeling kind of like more responsibility than ever. Like I'm emailing teachers whenever I'm not going to school and stuff like that. Obviously back in high school I didn't do that, but like now I'm feeling more responsibility, and I'm learning a lot more, and I'm taking that step.
Yeah, so just talk about this opportunity. I mean, there's not many districts or many schools that have this opportunity. Just talk about the fortune. HCS students are so fortunate to be able to have this opportunity. So just talk about that.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. We don't have it much. I came from Egypt to here, so back in Egypt, obviously you don't have these opportunities. It's a great opportunity here.
Right.
It's like a great step for us. It gives us a lot of advantages. Obviously, we take 2 years off of college. That's always great. We get our associates in high school. And obviously the experiences, the people we meet here, it's all great.
What are your plans after you graduate?
I'm planning to go in the optometry, like in health pathway. So I'm doing the health pathway here at EC3 too.
Okay.
And then once I'm done, I'm gonna go to college, finish that, and then do medical school and try to get my ophthalmology so I can become an ophthalmologist.
So obviously you've lined this up. It sounds like you've lined this out and kind of drawn your path. So how getting not only your associate's degree, but all those certifications in the healthcare pathway? I mean, man, when those schools see you coming, they're going to be jumping at you.
Yeah, it's like a huge step. Like I had this plan before I even thought about the academy or knew about it, but now that changes the whole thing. Now I get to work as soon as I get to high school. As soon as I get to college, I get to work, and I get to. I'm already gonna have that step forward. I can like boost that process. Obviously, the medical field and medical school and all that, that's a long step and a lot of years of high school and 2 years cut off. That's it's a big deal, and I'm going there with the experience with no way less pressure on me, and it's gonna be great.
Right. So as I asked Carissa earlier, you were kind of trucking along middle school, and then you got this, the high school, your freshman and sophomore year. Then all of a sudden this opportunity comes along where you kind of have to leave those guys. But you've already talked about the maturity level that you've had or you've reached. But just talk about kind of letting go and the reward that follows that.
Yeah, obviously, like leaving my high school, that's obviously like a big step. I don't really see my friends over there anymore, my teachers. Like obviously it's a big step. But yeah, right here, it's a big reward in return. I get to like have this amazing opportunity here at EC3. I get to take like college classes and college credit and get my associates in the end, so it's all worth it. I still see my friends over there too. It's not a big risk. And
in today's world, when John, who's behind the camera, and me, when we were in school, if you would have said, we won't get to see our friends, that we wouldn't get to see them. But in today's world with this and your all networking opportunities.
Yeah, we still talk to them.
Right, and plus just talk about the new friends you've made. I mean, you're a John Hardin student, but the new friends you've made from Central and North.
Yeah, it's great. Now I have friends from all over, from John, North, Central, everything. Yeah, now I still talk to my friends over there. Obviously, they all know about the academy. They're trying to pursue that sometime too, and I have new friends over here too. So it's a big circle now.
And you'll still graduate from John Hardin. You'll be there on graduation day, but you'll have that associate's degree. So you're going to do great things, young man, and we look forward to hearing great things from you.
Thank you.
Okay, Haley. Central Hardin High School student. Haley Boone is joining us now, and Haley, you're, as I've asked the other two guys two folks we talked to, you're trucking along, middle school, freshman, sophomore year at Central, and then this opportunity comes along. did you have any angst or separation, anxiety leaving there? But then talk about the reward once you got here.
Yes, at first, like everyone talked in sophomore year, yeah, this big academy thing, this is so much fun. You get to go and do college classes all day. And at first I didn't think much of it, but then at the very end of sophomore year, I was like, well, let's do it.
Right.
So at first I was weighing the pros and cons. It's a lot of your high school experience, as a lot of people talk about. But honestly, I think that I've had more of a high school experience here at Academy than I would have at Central, because you get so much more freedom and there's so much more people you can interact with, and that's what I like about it.
Right. You're talk about so it's very structured. High school is any school is very
Yes,
structured. And there's a lot of structure here as well. But then also, I mean, you may have an 8 a.m. class, and then your next class may not be till 10 or something like that. Correct?
Yes.
So there is an hour where you can study. You can just relax for a second.
Yeah.
But you're carrying how many hours? 15?
Something around
Yeah,
that,
so you're carrying 15 college hours. So just talk about that freedom comes with a little bit of a price, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So like the schedule that I'm on right now, I'll have 2 college classes in person a day, and then they'll end at 11:45, and then for the rest of the day, I'll normally catch up on work that I have for other classes.
Okay.
And it's really, if you're in this program, you have to be good at time management, because if you don't have that, you are gonna struggle. And I struggled at first because it's all this new stuff, but you just gotta learn how to do it.
Right, that's key. So you are a high school junior, so a lot of folks may think, and I remember when I was a high school junior, I wasn't very mature. I had a lot of, just a lot going on.
Yeah.
But how quick has this made you mature, not grow up, but mature? How has this kind of shaped your maturity?
Really, when I first got here, I was like, great, I get 2 classes a day and I get to hang out and party for the rest of it. And then I quickly learned, you're in college now. You have to be able to do this stuff on your own, because you're not going to have teachers telling you what to do and when to do it. So quickly I learned I need to have a to-do list that tells me what I need to do, when it's due.
Yeah.
And really just keeping yourself on track and not letting yourself get behind is a really...
Anybody can do this, right? I mean,
absolutely.
so the key, what I'm hearing you say is time management and just being eager and ready to do those things, right?
Yes, and being disciplined is a big part in it too.
Yeah, being disciplined. That's key. So what's Haley's path? What's your path after you graduate?
So before this, I wanted to do culinary, like I wanted to be a chef. And now I had a teacher of mine, she encouraged me to be a teacher. So in Academy, I'm in the teaching pathway.
Awesome. So are you taking advantage of the tuition assistance program?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome, good. So will you do elementary, middle, or high? Or?
I want to teach middle school math.
Okay, awesome. Math, awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
We may hire you now
Go right ahead.
to teach. No, I'm just kidding. But so this then is perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
This opportunity is perfect. So I'm the public relations director for Hardin County Schools. So I'm going to ask you the $1 million question
All
here.
right.
No other district can do this.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So if someo's on the bubble or thinking about this, how does Haley Boone advise them to step forward?
To be in Academy?
And the education pathway. Yeah.
If you like it and you want that sense of responsibility, I would try it. I'd go for it. And especially if you already think, hey, I like doing education stuff, I like being around children, like this is a really good way to do that too, because in college you'll have to pay so much more just to try out a teaching class and you don't know if you'll like it or not. But in Academy you can do that for like a lot cheaper, and you can be like, okay, this is what I want it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. We look forward to having you back in our classrooms here in 3 short years, and that will be here before we know it. So we appreciate Haley. We appreciate you watching as well. And it's been a great day hanging out with Mr. Robbins and these early college and academy students here at the Early College and Career Center. It's an amazing pathway. Go to hardin.kyschools.us to find out more. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching.